Yes, that is a Christian man dancing and twerking with another woman who is not his wife. Can you believe that a Christian musical artist would dance like that? If you were a Christian musical artist, would you dance like that in front of a crowd? Here we have Kirk Franklin. He's a very famous Christian musician in the area of R&B, hip-hop, rap, and gospel choirs. And he's been making a lot of news on the internet due to his, let's call it, risque dancing. Some risque outfits and risque dancing. These dance performances are not appropriate for someone who's naming the name Christ. If I were to show you this individual and ask what type of artist he is, you would never say, well, that's a Christian artist. Let's look at this clip where he is dancing in Jamaica. Kirk Franklin also went viral because he brought Kamala Harris on the stage when he was performing at the White House and kissed her hand and danced with her. Let's give that clip a listen. This is just my personal opinion on the area of politics, that a Christian should not align themselves with someone who is so anti-Christian in virtually every area of Christian ethics. So I cannot support a Christian doing that and supporting Kamala Harris. But this next clip is downright shocking. And what is even more shocking is that he defends his actions in his year-end video. Let's give this clip and his defense of his actions in this video.
All right, so I'm going to say something, and I'm going to keep this real, and I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. Sometimes I just play too much. Sometimes I just be doing too much. I do. I play too much. I'm friends with these people. We have fun backstage, and I don't know how to separate the backstage Kirk from on stage Kirk. Like, I am who I am, wherever I am. These are my peoples, and we act silly backstage and have fun, and I don't know how to turn that off. And I gotta learn it because I know that it can be offensive to some people. But sometimes I just play too much. And in that moment, I was playing too much. I shouldn't have been playing out there in front of y'all. I should have kept that to myself and have fun with them the way I do when we be acting a fool. But sometimes I get on my own nerve. And when I was doing it, it seemed fine. But when I saw the clip, yeah, it's too much.
First, no Christian should be dancing like this on stage, in public, or in private. Next, Kirk is a married man, and he shouldn't certainly be dancing like this up against a woman who is not his wife. But then he tries to defend his behaviors. Oh, I'm just having so much fun. I just went too far. I should keep that kind of stuff backstage. And you're thinking, what on earth are you doing backstage? If you're comfortable doing acts like this, dances like this in public, what on earth are you comfortable doing backstage when no one is watching? Although I do appreciate his desire to want to make Christ known, I want to ask Kirk a question. Is the Christ that you're presenting the Christ of the Bible? Is the Jesus that you want to portray the real Jesus found in the Bible with your music and with your performances? Christian musicians, in one sense, have more clout than even Christian pastors because Music is a very powerful tool in which you can portray a message. And these Christian artists have to realize that the world is watching. And often in their songs they're saying, oh, you need to take care of how you live your life, Christians, because the whole world is watching. But as well, we can flip that on these artists. The whole world is actually watching you, probably more than us. When the world sees stuff like this, Christian musicians bumping and grinding and twerking, they will not take you seriously. You're really just reflecting the world. But what I have here in the rest of this video for each one of you is just a plea for purity for Christians. Christians are called to live holy lives. And yes, we're stained with sin. We still sin. We fail in many ways. And no one is perfect. We've all fallen short of God's glorious standard, Romans 3:23. But that doesn't mean that we don't seek to be pure. That doesn't mean that we don't call out major sin and major things that are inappropriate for Christians to be doing when we see them. And so I wanted to read Ephesians chapter 4, verses 17 to 20. Now I say this and testify in the Lord, that you must no longer walk as the Gentiles do in the futility of their minds. They are darkened in their understanding, alienated from the life of God because of the ignorance that is in them due to the hardness of heart. They have become callous and have given themselves up to sensuality, greed, to practice every kind of impurity. But that is not the way you learn Christ. That one dance there, rubbing up against someone who isn't your wife, that's not how you learn Christ. That's not sexual purity. When Christ calls us and saves us, He calls us to follow Him, to live a sexually pure life, and to portray godliness and holiness with our lives. I pray and hope everyone watching this does this to the glory of the Lord. Thanks for watching, and God bless.